Hello. Um, I got kind of inspired after some recent experiences I've been going through this past about a week, a little less. I wanted to talk about implication. Neville Goddard. Neville talks about find, using the tools or whatever, to get into the state of the wish fulfilled. Part of his three-step formula, of course. Step two is to construct a scene in imagination that would imply that your wish has been fulfilled, which means that you're imagining something after the fact. So, like if you imagine, or if you want a new car, then you wouldn't imagine necessarily being at the car lot paying for it. You might imagine a point even farther out where you've had the car for a year and you're still loving it, something like that, or paying up paying the car insurance for it, stuff like that that would imply. But the whole implication thing is you'd have to have the car there in the first place to be able to pay the insurance on it. You just want to get that feeling of it's my car sort of thing. And, and the thing with that is sometimes people, present company included here, will try to imagine too much stuff, thinking that they're doing better. Like the more I imagine from different angles or whatever, it might get my car or whatever it is, my car, my the person I want, that sort of thing. And got a handy dandy mute button here. Um, yeah, so what I actually just wanted to talk about how something as simple as folding a piece of paper, different ways could maybe uh, illuminate understanding more about how implication works. And there's a with the implication, there's a similar idea from NLP, neuro linguistic programming, called presuppositions, where presupposition basically, and this is kind of just a side note here, but presupposition, you take a sentence that someone says, and you can actually identify the unspoken assumptions that have to be true in order for that sentence to either be true or make sense. So if you say I drove my car to see the rainbow at the beach, or just something stupid like that, it implies that there's a rainbow, implies there's a beach, implies that hopefully have a driver's license and to drive your car and all that. So there's a lot of stuff that you can unpack, a lot of meaning from that one sentence. And implication is the same way. When you're building your feel it real, when you're planning it out. I always say that planning out these sessions, when you use formal scenes and all, it's kind of like Ariadne, the architect from that movie Inception, where she has to build the dream for each of the respective dreamers. They each get their own dream that she has to construct, so it's just enough detail so their mind can fill in the rest, but not too much where their mind won't be able to fill in the rest because there's too much there interfering, I guess, with the process. And it's kind of the same way. So I mean, just wanted to show you with the piece of paper here. Like, let's say I want to fold this piece of paper in half, this way. If I could just take it and go, go like that, and then just really quickly do something. The edges, the edges don't really line up. I mean, it's really hard to, at least for me, it's harder to do it from the middle. And so what I've actually found helps, at least for this kind of exercise, is you just take the two matching corners there, and you just take those two corners and you just line those up perfect, right? Just on the corner part is all you need, really. Gets you a lot closer, and then once you do that, you can actually, of course, fold there, and it's not, of course, completely perfect, but it's a lot closer because you're taking, in this case, because it's got the four corners, you need two dimensions. You need the length and the width to those two dimensions at a minimum to get a really good fold going. And of course, I'm not going to sit around folding paper all day or ask anybody to fold paper all day to come to some spiritual insights, because that's a load of crap, I think. But just sometimes I think in analogy and metaphor, and I think this is a good kind of analogy there. And you can even do it. Got a lot of paper here, but you can do it the same way with if you do it long ways, where you just take and you line up that corner so it's just lined up right there, and then you take and you reach down and fold it all the way across, and would you look at that? Not perfect, of course, because it's, paper or whatever, but it makes sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you. just something that came to me earlier because I've had some experiences this past God, like 5 or 6 days now, I think, where been overwhelming. Sometimes when you play with this stuff, you'll get results that you might not have expected, and then if you think back on, what was I imagining that led to this or that caused this to unfold. You can revise. You can use revision. Haven't done any videos on revision because I actually have a friend that is a very close friend, a lot better, what I would say better at revision than what I am currently. I'm playing with that. I'm actually revising to be better at revision, ironically enough. But anyway, yeah, hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. And have a great day.